Hands is back. UFC 272. Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. The blood is real. The beef is real. Are they homies or not? Oh, man. Just sit back, enjoy, and watch, man. We're going to debate. We're going to talk it out, man. I got my man Brady, DFS by the numbers here. He's going to be representing. Who you got?
I got Jorge Masvidal, man.
Damn, okay, Jorge Masvidal. Not bad. So that means I'm going to be with the man Colby, man. I'm going to be taking Colby Covington. We're going to be, expressing different ways on these guys that they can be able to win. And, we'll let y'all decide. Put in the comments who you think's going to win, based on the argument itself. Not the actual fight, but the actual argument debate itself.
Yeah, so I'll kick this one off. And, there's, looking into this fight, I think there's a lot of advantages for Masvidal. I think a lot of people think that, Colby's just going to come in here and take him down for 25 minutes. But you take a look at Masvidal, this guy has 50 fights. Colby only has 19. He's the more experienced fighter, and he's fought really good competition as well. Not only that, he's been a pro for 18 years, Jorge Masvidal. So, he's been through it all. He's seen it all as well. And on top of that is, I take a look at Colby Covington, and in his fights, shout out to Uncle Weezy. I'm taking a look at his stats right now. And in his fights, Colby Covington is actually at striking range for over 50% of the time. So that leads me to believe that there's going to be a ton of opportunities for Jorge Masvidal to knock out Colby Covington, who, by the way, has been knocked down in 4 times in his last 3 fights. I mean, how's this guy's chin? Is it going to hold up against the power of Masvidal? So, Mills, how are you seeing this? Do you think Colby Covington's just going to wrestle Masvidal for 25 minutes?
Nah, definitely not, man. I don't think that he's gonna wrestle him for 25 minutes. I actually think he's gonna keep it on the feet a lot too. Colby Covington, yeah, a lot of people say, definitely Masvidal has him in striking, right? But I mean, the output that Colby Covington puts up is hard to deny, man. So even if it stays on the feet, I don't think that Jorge Masvidal would be able to put the same amount of output as Colby Covington throughout 5 rounds. I mean, I remember seeing Colby Covington run a clinic on, what was it? Dos Años, Dos Nachos, he was calling them and shit like that. I ain't never seen nobody just make Robbie Lawler look like a yard sale fighter, on a bargain price. Like, he had Robbie Lawler looking bad in that fight as well. So, when you just look at like some of the opponents that like Colby Covington stayed on the feet with, he actually output, a lot of these strikers that he actually came in there and strike with. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. And I think it will be a lot in striking range. And that's what kind of worries me for the Colby side. I mean, getting dropped by Kamaru Usman, in their second fight twice was not a good look. Usman was really close to getting him out of there. And then in the first fight, obviously got dropped once in that 5th round, dropped once again, ultimately finished. Again, how is Colby's chin if he does strike with Masvidal, like me and you both think he will? I think Masvidal just going to have opportunities to eventually touch that chin. And I do think Colby's going to wrestle, and I think it's going to be smart to wrestle, but Jorge Masvidal has very, very good takedown defense. His takedown defense is sitting at around 73%. And we saw even against Kamaru Usman, he stepped in on short notice in their first fight, him and Kamaru Usman. And Kamaru Usman really had trouble taking down and holding down Jorge Masvidal. So Kamaru Usman went 5 for 16 on takedowns. That's 31%. I think Colby's going to go for takedowns. I think he's going to go for a lot of them, but I do think a lot of them are going to be stuffed. I think if he gets taken down, Masvidal's going to be able to work his way back up. And then at range, I just think Masvidal is going to have opportunities. So Colby is obviously a big favorite, and I kind of get it. I think he has a good chance of winning here. But, Masvidal is going to have 25 minutes to touch the chin of Colby, who, again, has been dropped 4 times in 3 fights. That's got to be a little concerning, right?
Man, I hear you on that. Definitely got to be concerning. So I heard you about big favorites, right? Let's do this. Let's throw the number out the line. Let's throw the line out the window. Forget about what they're matched at. When it just comes down to an overall fight, too. Forget about that. Colby Covington is a minus 350 favorite. A lot of people saying he should be about minus 190, minus 200. I really don't agree with that. Regardless of the line, I just think when it comes down to it, like, Colby Covington is evolving as a fighter right now. That's somebody that Jorge Masvidal had in his camp just to, groom him on the wrestling and grappling like that when they were over there at American Top Team and stuff like that. So, roomed together, stayed together, pretty much knows the ins and outs. I think Colby Covington he triggers his opponents to react towards him. Masvidal, he just goes in there and brawls, not really with a calculated game plan, but just kind of like, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Let me ask you something though. Since we're talking about, lines and numbers, let's just talk about some opponents, and see how we age this real quick. I'll bring up Jorge Masvidal's last 3 wins. And, I'll bring up his last 3 losses. And the same thing. You could do the same thing with Colby Covington. Let's just talk about this for a minute. Because honestly, I didn't even remember this one. This one goes deep. All right, man. Jorge Masvidal's last 3 or 4 wins. All right. He has a win over Donald Cerrone. That was in 2017. He has a loss to Damian Maia. A loss to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. A win over Darren Till, the guy who's like up in that weight class, out in that weight class. Who knows whatever happened to Darren? Okay, another story. All right, he has a win over Ben Askren. Ben Askren, who came in the UFC, and I think he's 0-2 or something like. Okay, cool. He has a win over Nate Diaz, a doctor stoppage. Nate Diaz, Ben Askren, Darren Till, Donald Cerrone. That's Jorge Masvidal's last 4 wins, and everybody's glowing over this guy like he is just street Jesus himself. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I mean, you could say the same thing about Colby, though. Look at his last 5 wins. Dong Hung Kim back in 2017, Damian Maia, which that's a good win, but that was an easy match for Colby. All he had to do was really stuff the takedowns. Rafael.
Wait. So that right there, you're telling me that he has a win over somebody that Jorge Masvidal has a loss to? That would just I'm sorry, keep going.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind when Maia beat Jorge Masvidal, that was like the old Masvidal, right? Like, remember he took that 2-year layoff. He came back and he was a completely different dude. But back to Colby, he beat a washed Robbie Lawler. He beat Rafael dos Anjos, but that's a really good win. And then a very washed Tyron Woodley. And I think that was Woodley's, that was Woodley's second to last fight ever. So, I mean, I think both their wins are a little iffy, but I think both their losses are really good because both of them are losing to, pretty much the same guy in Kamaru Usman as of late.
Yeah, man. Now, when it comes down to it, is the beef real or is it not? Because, when it comes to it, I actually think Colby Covington wants to murder Jorge Masvidal on that way. I actually don't think it's the way of Masvidal wanting to beef with him. Masvidal, I think, has way more to lose than Colby Covington right now. Masvidal is the $5 million man right now. Colby Covington ain't cracking that right now. What do you think about the beef and everything like that? Whose favor is that going to play in?
I guess I was thinking, how's that going to affect Colby Covington's game plan? Is he going to come out here and fight smart like he always does and try to hump Masvidal's leg for 25 minutes? Or is he going to come out here and try to take off Masvidal's head? If he does that, I think that's only hurting himself. So, we'll see. I mean, we'll have to watch the press conference. We'll watch the face-offs. We'll see how hot this thing gets. But, yeah, I'm curious to see the game plan of Colby Covington. If he comes in here and fights smart, I think that's good. But if he comes in here and tries to take the head off of Masvidal because he hates him, I don't think it's a great game plan for him.